If you could give me one name now, Jamie, who do you think is going to go down with the other two?
I mean, I'm going to stick to my guns and say Leeds. It's just, I don't know. I mean, that's a big point for them. Fair play, that is a big point for them, because it does shift the pressure then onto Burnley to get a result. But I feel like because Burnley have got 2 games to play, they might just be able to find something from somewhere. I think Everton will beat Palace, and I just think Leeds might go. I really do. Just look at the goal difference. That might be true. That might be key as well. You know, minus 38 Leeds goal difference. It's massive. And Burnley's only minus 18. So really, you know, Burnley can afford really to pick up a point. Leeds lose the last game, and you know, a point might be enough for Burnley.
Ali?
Leeds cannot lose the last game. I tell you, because I think Jamie's right. I think Burnley will get a point somewhere. It's been incredible. Do you know what will have a big say in the last game, like the last 2 or 3 games, as we've seen in the last couple of games, just how vital discipline is. You know, you look at Everton losing 2 men. I know Rondon was a later sending off, but Leeds United, Ayling gets sent off, I think, at Arsenal.
Yep.
And then the loss was at Dan James, and the other one.
Yep.
Vital. And it's the most obvious thing to say, but you've got to channel your aggression. You've got to keep 11 players on the park. That's going to be vital. I'm just not.
I mean, the Everton player is unlucky though, isn't he, Ali? Really?
Yeah,
he's unlucky, and that's what can change a whole season. Like the whole season's riding on it.
Yeah,
and
but
one
Jimmy,
small mistake, or you get the wrong side of someone, you get sent off. It changes everything.
Yeah, but here's one for you. I'm guessing by the sound of your voice and the tone of your voice, you might agree with what I'm going to say. I think that's an extremely harsh sending off as well, because again, he just gets caught wrong side, and there's no intention.
He's in though, yeah, but he's in on goal, Ali. You know.
Well, but I get that totally. I understand it totally. But again, I just think it's a harsh sending off because there's absolutely no intent from the player to commit a foul. I think it's different if he's cynical and he brings him down. Yes, I get it. But that to me, yes, it's a free kick. Yes, he's in goal, but it's completely accidental.
Can I just say as well that to lose those 2 players when you've got, I mean, I know obviously Rondon coming off the bench, but to lose Brathwaite for the end of the season and also Rondon as well, it's just carnage, isn't it? As a manager, just put yourself in that position for a minute, Jamie, and you're fighting for survival, and then you're getting things like this happen. Is it all just kind of emotional boiling over? I know sometimes you say like you get unlucky or lucky or whatever with calls, but there's so much emotion at this stage of the season, which has been building up for Everton, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been involved in them situations, in a relegation fight, scored on the last day of the season to help Wolves stay in the Premier. And I remember just being in the dressing room and being at the training ground throughout that week, thinking like we know we have to get a result. You can just feel the pressure, and you're trying to be positive. You're trying to obviously do everything right, everything you eat, the way you train, the time you go to bed, everything you do, you try to do 100% right. And you never know how you turn up on the day, and it is, it's the pressure of going into it is horrible. It is. It's a horrible feeling to go in, and it's just the players and the managers who have the calm heads and have the sort of belief in themselves that they're going to go out and do something special and play well. They're the ones who come through it. It's the ones that crumble under the pressure, are the ones that, make a mistake, get sent off, or, you see with Holding where he goes into that game and he's got that red mist sort of attitude. You can't go into games like that. You've got to go in and be calm, composed, be ready for what's coming, but, have a level head on you, because anything can happen.
Stuart Hall, Stuart has texted and said, how does Jamie think Everton will do at Arsenal? That game could be Arsenal's last chance for top 4 and Everton's last chance to stay up.
Depends. That game really depends on how Everton do against Crystal Palace. Because if they beat Crystal Palace, they stay in the Premier League. It's as simple as that. So it's hard to make a judgment on that game yet until Everton play Palace. If they lose that game, Everton, then obviously it goes down. I almost want Everton to lose that game in a way, because
so they'll be fired up for Arsenal.
Because then they know they have to go to Arsenal and play well.
Yeah,
and that's obviously going to help Spurs. So in a way, I really want Everton to stay up, because I really like Lampard, and I think he's gone into a really tough situation at Everton. But I want it to go down to the last game.
For selfish reasons.
For selfish reasons.
Yeah, but it's not. I suppose you're right, though. It's for the neutrals as well. They want to see a really exciting last day of the season. And they're probably going to get that as well, aren't they?
It is the most horrible day that. Playing on the last day of the season to stay in the Premier League was honestly the worst experience, but the most amazing when you stay up, because I've stayed up. But, I've been in moments where you've gone down as well, and it is the most horrible feeling. After that game, you just heart sink because you know the consequences of what going down means. And it's just, it's everything. The fans, the players, staff, everyone involved in the football club. It's just, it's uncertainty instantly after that.
I want to play you a bit of Frank Lampard because he was speaking about the loss last night and their attention being turned now to this Crystal Palace game on Thursday. Have a listen.
We haven't got a huge squad at the minute because of injuries, we know that, and now obviously a couple of suspensions, but at the same time it's mental and physical because we've got ourselves in a position where it's in our hands. It's in our hands today. We have another game at Goodison where it's in our hands, and then the game at the Emirates when it's in our hands. So we want to just take stock tonight, probably, because the game is frustrating in its manner, but at the same time the reality is if we win on Thursday then we're in the Premier League next year, and have a lot of belief in these players and a belief in these fans. They'll turn up with the same attitude they did today, and we just have to keep going.
As a manager, Ali, how are you keeping this group of players calm and concentrated, especially where you just come off that game where you've lost 2 players?
Absolutely. That was probably just a disaster really for Frank yesterday, let's be honest about it. Perfect start, great start. I mean, I was listening to the radio, and the atmosphere at Goodison yesterday, particularly at the start of that game, sounded incredible. The Everton fans have been brilliant. They've rallied like you've no idea. There was some great results. Obviously Leicester away, Chelsea at home, down at Watford. Okay, it's not a bad point, but it's a game they probably should have been looking to win. He's got to put that behind him now. Just immediately, as soon as that whistle finishes for the game, he's got to get himself ready for the next game, because there's nothing he can do about that. That's points that have gone, and he has to keep everybody focused. And it is so important, repeating myself, the discipline of the players is absolutely vital. And he'll just be trying to calm everybody down. But at the same time, it's a balancing act, Jamie. It's a balancing act. Calming the players down, but making them,
aware
of
what's at stake.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.